With all of the eyes on Tropical Storm Ian, Cedric, the storm is in the Atlantic right now. It's about to make that tricky left turn towards Charleston, South Carolina, and eventually up into East Tennessee. Are we going to get any of that stuff here?
We may see a little bit here, but there's been some good news when it comes to our local forecast when it comes to what will happen with Ian here. So I want to walk you through that here. Right now, you can see all that heavy rain and wind continuing to kind of pile up against the northeastern coastline there of Florida. So from Jacksonville down through Daytona Beach, they're still seeing Daytona Beach has had winds gusting over 70 miles per hour throughout the morning into the afternoon hours here. It's been quite treacherous there with lots of heavy rainfall, and that's now beginning to shift to the north. The center of Ian now is back over the Atlantic Ocean. So yesterday, the center was forecasted to be tracking right up along or right inside the coastline there of Florida into Georgia. And then a couple of days ago, it was actually expected to be on the west coast of Florida. So that has continued to make its way off to the east. So because of that track change there, we're now seeing that this potential to possibly even redevelop into a hurricane again as it makes its way over the warm waters of the Atlantic. But notice right now it's just south of Savannah now, but it is going to be drifting off towards the north. So these outer rain bands will start to move that way. So let's talk about the track here, because I'll show you the big changes with that. You can see 70 mile per hour winds as this lifts to the north, now expected again to regain hurricane status here as we go throughout later on this evening and tonight and become a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall sometime around late morning or early afternoon on Friday right along the South Carolina coast, and looks like trying to make a beeline there, as Calvin mentioned earlier, right around the Charleston area before moving inland. Now again, remember yesterday this was expected to be over the state of Georgia, so that shift off to the east there is now going to put most of the impacts from this system off to the east of the track there, which means our forecast for the weekend may be improving somewhat, because you can see the actual center of the system will be well to the east, but all the impacts on the eastern side will be even farther east than that. So that's where your heaviest rainfall will be. So let me kind of show you what I mean here with the latest futurecast, because again, we've been seeing this rain moving in the past couple of days as we've gotten into our Saturday, but I'm going to just start the clock off at 4 o'clock on Friday, and you can see we're still dealing with some pretty decent conditions out there, but the clouds will be increasing. Now Friday night heading into Saturday morning, our futurecast still indicates some of these showers starting to make their way in from the north and west there, and again, we can see that happening as we go throughout your Saturday. And so even though this model doesn't necessarily show the actual widespread rain, I can't rule out a couple of scattered showers. The better chance will be still off to the eastern half of the area, but you can see a big improvement when it comes to the potential of widespread rain on Saturday. So as we kind of take a look at the rainfall totals, just a big view, you can see the heaviest rainfall will be well off to our east as you get into the Carolinas and over towards southern Georgia there. But notice even eastern Georgia now has been kind of taken out of that swath of potential heavy rainfall. You got to get towards Columbia, South Carolina, up towards, let's say, Charlotte and Raleigh, Durham, and points east to find some of that heavier rainfall moving in there. So locally, what that means for us, we're talking barely measurable amounts here across the Tennessee Valley, at least for most of us, until you get to the eastern half of the area. As you get towards Murphy and over towards the Blue Ridge, that's where we could see a quarter to a half an inch of rain. But for most of us, we're going to be talking about some light showers and maybe even just some sprinkles and lots of clouds as we go throughout our Saturday. So a big improvement there with that part of the forecast. This morning, 30s and 40s out there. Look at that, 34 in Murphy this morning, 52 here in Chattanooga this morning. It's 74 outside now with sunshine, that breeze that's pretty steady out of the north. Temperatures, though, overall fairly comfortable area-wide into the low to mid-70s with that northerly breeze continuing. So as we go throughout this evening, breezy conditions with sunshine and mainly clear skies. Temperatures by tomorrow morning will drop down into the upper 40s to low 50s again across the area. And then for tomorrow, we're talking about highs back into the low to mid-70s across the area, but you'll see a few more clouds trying to build in the afternoon. But overall, not too bad, just breezy with a chance of scattered showers Friday night into Saturday, but those rain chances really dropping now as that track of Ian continues to shift to the east. But overall, temperatures staying below normal over the next 7 days, Calvin.